On September 25th, we're getting a brand new update inside of Diablo Immortal, and this is a big one. Today, I have all of the details regarding this update, as well as a bunch of in-game footage and cinematics that I can guarantee you haven't seen before. Now, I was given some of this information early, so what I'm looking at here are notes that were provided to me by Blizzard, and you can see all of the topics we're going to be talking about today. Fleshed Harvest main quest in the Charvel Zone, new legendary gems, which we've spoken of on the channel before, Cycle of Strife Reborn, familiar improvements, plot your war games. This is going to be fun, boys. Festival of the Ancient Moon, the new Battle Pass, Skyborn's Scourge, Phantom Market, play music from the Phantom Market. That's something new. Returning events, feature updates, and bug fixes. All of that is inside of today's video. But first, let's start with a little cinematic to get you started. Regarding the new zone.
We must defend our home. Lazarus, come forward. Your sacrifice will ensure our future. Please! In this new world, all will be free!
So yeah, they always do a great job with those cinematics. I want to start out the video with something that you probably haven't seen yet. So we do have the new main quest, Flesh Harvest main quest in the Charvel Wilds zone. And let's just read through what we're going to get right here. In the new Flesh Harvest main quest, you'll investigate the Wicker Fields, the spiritual center and breadbasket of Charvel, as you search for Albrecht and his hive, which is kind of what I think we were looking at inside of that video. As you traverse the corrupted fields, you'll confront ghastly, undead, frenzied fae, and hideous shardborn among the festering grassland, all while learning of the resentment continuously growing within the Estig peasantry and the promises of freedom Albrecht has made to his followers. So a little bit of lore we're getting right here. You'll team up with your allies as you prepare to confront Albrecht and his army of followers and monsters within the Boil of Creation, a massive shardborn hive. Within, you'll witness the beginning of Albrecht's horrifying plans to transform Sanctuary into an image and sacrifices he's made to achieve his dreams. And then we go here. At long last, you'll be able to explore, complete bounties, and slay wanted monsters in several of Charvel's subzones, including the township of Highfork, the village of Othrop, the Moonlit Highlands, and Darkened Glade, and the Wicker Fields. Prepare yourself, Defender of the Wilds. Replay past quests by assessing the Adventurer's Chronicle in Kane's Workshop. And we have some things right here. Receive bounty from the Flesh Harvest from the 25th of September through October 8th. Enter promo code Flesh Harvest right here to collect your first offering of the major update. You can only redeem it once. You get a legendary crest, 2 legendary items, 3 aquamarines, and 3 sapphires. So really exciting that we're getting a new zone. It's been a minute since we've had like a big new zone reveal. This one I think is going to be a fun one. Now they go on to again share with us information regarding the new legendary gems. We've covered this already on the channel, but to summarize, we're getting a new 5-star gem called Haunted Coil, very focused around defense. We are getting the Fading Nostrum, which is a 2-star gem. A lot of people really like this because, well, let me read it to you. When you take damage, you become warded for 6 seconds, reducing the damage you take from harmful continual damage effects, and increasing your chance to block projectiles. And then a 1-star gem, which is a Mountain Toe, which is going to have a critical resistance increased and critical damage taken reduced. It does tell you, they do tell us now what the Resonance Gems are going to be, so that's actually pretty cool. Resonance Gems for the 5-star, which is the one that probably most of you care about, is going to be Spectre Glass, Viper's Bite, Insidious Scorn, Seeping Bile, and Spiteful Blood. And the Resonance Gems for the 2-star is Mocking Laughter, the Curseling, and the Abiding Curse. I want to show you a little bit of a look of the new Wicker Fields and some of the new zones that we were just talking about and reading about, and also maybe the new enemy faction that you're going to find inside of that zone. This is just some pre-rendered items from the zone that'll give us an idea of what we can expect when we actually get there. I like this view. Look at that monstrous essence just floating up there in the sky. A little preview here of what the new monsters are going to be. And I have a bunch more footage that I can show you. I'll sprinkle it throughout the video. And anything that I don't show throughout the video, I'll show you at the end. Giving a little bit of a Demon Hunter highlight here, though, as well. I'm actually surprised they didn't use the Druid. Alright, look at all the pumpkins you got over here. I actually like that look. Then I want to show you something else. So this is the new enemy faction that you're going to be running into when we're here. These are the new enemies that have never been seen before inside of the game. There's quite a bit of footage of this one. We'll see if we're going to show it all. You have these as well, which are definitely cool looking. And lastly, it looks like we made our way into that home of Alberek right here, where everything seems to be made up of flesh. And look, you even have a character that's stuck. These characters are stuck onto the home. It's basically sacrificing people or demons to build this lair that they live inside of. I think it's pretty cool. But now let's move on to the cycle of strife and how this is being changed. Let's go through all of this. The endless battle between immortals and shadows rages on. Victories bolstering dominant clans and fueling those who wish to claim their mantle. But war adapts and improves its deadly efficiency in the name of battlefield advantages. So too should the Shadow War make change to its Grimsley contest. We've spoken a little bit about Shadow Cloaks. This is all part of that. We're shaking up the cycle of strife in a big way and making battles more intense and quicker to complete, which I love. Shadow War changes. We're changing the format on how you match up and face off against other clans in Shadow War. Moving forward, clans will compete in 2 matches per week, earning points for each match that they win. Moving away from the traditional bracket, this means there will be no more eliminations, and clans will be matched against other clans with similar points. Clans will earn 3 points for a win and 1 for a loss. The top 10 clans with the highest scores at the end of the tournament will be greatly rewarded. The clans that finish from 11 to 20 earning hearty rewards as well. You may recognize this from a Swiss tournament style. The system has been used in tournaments around the world for sports, games, and more. While the tournaments may start with higher and lower skilled clans facing off as matches progress, the system is known to even out and result in more appropriate matches. The really positive thing about this is that there's no elimination. And yes, in the beginning, you're going to be matched up with people randomly. You could go against a really dominant, strong clan and get smoked if you're not a dominant, strong clan yourself. But as you get your win-losses, you'll start more evenly matching with clans and your experience will improve over time. This just means more battles for more players, more rewards, and honestly, more fun in a PvP style way. Tournament registration. Registration for the Shadow War begins each week on Monday at 3 a.m., Tuesday at 9 p.m. local time. Each clan will need 30 players to register. If you meet the requirements, you'll register automatically, but you can switch back to manual registration if wanted. So what we really want to make sure is that we have at least 30 active players inside of the clan, and if we don't, it's time to start kicking those inactives and bringing in people that are going to participate in these events. Matchmaking rules. If 2 clans have already faced off against each other in a previous round, you're far less likely to play against them in following rounds. That's cool. Clans that are ranked in the top 10 are placed in a protected matchmaking pool where there's multiple potential opponents with similar point totals. The matchmaking system will prioritize matching you against opponents ranked 11 or lower, whoever's points are closest. And then the rewards, the top 10 clans will earn legendary crests for each of its members, while following clans who finish 11 through 20 will earn legendary chest vouchers, which allows you to purchase a legendary crest from the Hills Trader at 9 on Saturday. All right, so I don't know that the rewards are going to be as huge as they're saying they're going to be, but at least the fighting mechanic and the tournament style, I think I like it better. And shadow contracts. No one likes doing shadow contracts. I let my pets do my shadow contracts and I haven't done them since. but they're changing them. We've streamlined the shadow contract system to reduce grind and make rewards more meaningful. The shadow contracts have fewer tasks, automatic rewards, and more loot to earn. Weekly attempts have been reduced from 9 to 6. The familiar AFK time has been reduced from 162 hours to 108 hours, and the cumulative attempt cap has been removed. Contracts are now available twice per week, so it's going to take less time. They're going to be easier. Additionally, we've increased the rewards by increasing the activity points earned from completing each activity from 20 to 30. The gold, XP, equipment earned from contract rewards, as well has been boosted by 50%. All right, let's talk about clans and cloaks. I love the cloak system, and I love that we're going to be able to get cloaks, essentially free cosmetics earned for how well you participate and how well you do in these Shadows events. Rise beyond the new heights. The clan level cap has been raised, allowing your clan to rise beyond previous heights. By completing activities, the Vault Chest, Contract, Shadow War, and New Invasion of the Immortal Realm, your clan will steadily gain the new experience. Tasks have also been simplified to make leveling easier. For instance, we've removed the right of exile as a clan focus option as it's too unpredictable. Similarly, contract tasks were reduced to match vault chest levels, which now requires fewer players while granting better rewards. Unite the progress together. Weekly clan activities now contribute more potentially to your progress, making it easier for every active clan member to leave their mark. Even smaller clans can raise through the ranks and earn prestigious rewards previously out of reach through consistent teamwork. And this is the cloak we are talking about right here. Really nice looking shadow cloak. This right here is the tier 3 of the cloak, which as of right now is the best looking. It looks a lot more dummied down with the previous levels of this. As at key milestones, your clan can unlock shadow cloaks, wreathed in smoke and starlight. These are exclusive cosmetic rewards that visually showcase your clan status and achievements. As your clan levels up, based off your deeds of valor within the cycle of strife, shadow cloaks are unlocked at set ranks, growing in magnificence as your clan gains momentum. These cloaks must be re-earned each season, ensuring that only active and dedicated clans wear them with pride. Okay. So that was something we didn't know. These cloaks are not unlocked permanently on you. So it really is tied to the clan that you're playing with. Each season, you're going to have to re-earn your cloaks, and you can see throughout the season how people are doing and how strong their clans are based off of the cloaks that they're wearing. It's not going to be a cosmetic that you permanently unlock and own. These cloaks must be re-earned. Redefine buff progression. Existing clan buffs are still part of the cycle of strife, but their unlock order and strength have been rebalanced. Developers note, this should make your progress feel smoother and ensures that valuable bonuses are earned at more impactful moments along your clan's journey. See your progress grow. The clan interface has been updated to clearly display your clan's level, available rewards, and current XP sources, making it easier than ever to track your rise and celebrate your milestones together. All right, cool. Now we got some stuff regarding Akeba's ordeal. Something new. We're adding a new way to earn marks for shadow clans during the cycle of strife. Slay your way through Akeba's ordeal, a 4-player shadow clan exclusive fight where you'll need to strike down 2 bosses to emerge triumphant. I actually really like this, that it's going to be a PvE focused thing. Very cool. Should you choose to select the fight in higher difficulty levels, the bosses you fight will be empowered by affixes from challenge dungeons. Completing Akeba's ordeal rewards marks, strengthening your shadow clan during the cycle of strife. Completing Akeba's ordeal for the first time each week will grant higher rewards and marks. Faster shadow assembly. The shadow assembly can now be completed faster than ever before with reduced blessings and more time for slaying. The time between blessings has been reduced from 2 minutes to 1. It's now more clear to see who received the initial blessing, and if you did not receive the initial blessing, you can receive it from players who have already blessed. All right, we do the Akeba's ordeal, the shadow assembly every day, gives you free experience. I save my experience for every Monday, and I collect it then, so for the extra rewards. They're making it so that it's half the time now, which is cool. I'm fine with that. It works for me. I don't think it was never a problem that it was 2 minutes. People were kind of hanging out inside of there, but now you could do it quicker. Clan management optimizations for all you clan leaders out there. They've made several updates to the clan management system to help streamline how it's organized and make it easier or tactically communicate and organize your clan as a leader. This is a good idea. Clan leaders often lack easy access to their individual clan members' combat power, resonance, and participation for planning around Shadow Wards, Vigil of Blades, and Rite of Exile. We've now added an export member data tool, which includes combat resonance, attributes, and combat power stats. These tools were functionally inspired by similar systems found in World of Warcraft. Love that they're utilizing systems that work and bringing them over here. To help see who performed member changes within your clan, there's now a history list to keep record of members joining, leaving, kicked, and appointed to a position. It can be difficult to notify shadows who fail to meet the rank requirements, so we've added a bulk mail option by rank so you can notify a large amount of members at one time. There's now a filtering and sorting option by level and resonance to make going through your clan member list easier and less tedious to navigate. And when participating in the Rite of Exile, sometimes your warriors don't show up when called upon, which is 100% true. Sometimes I miss it. You can now substitute players for the registered pool and swap in active members if someone else misses the match. Really nice change right there. Now they're also making changes to warbands. These are pretty cool, and they're cosmetic, which you'll see the image in a moment. It's now much easier to find higher quality remnants while running Purge the Depths. Warband parties now only require 4 players to receive the highest quality of remnant drops. Awesome. What I'm hearing a lot of here is more rewards for doing less. Remnants now drop in the Warband Helliquary raids and also only require 4 players to achieve the highest quality drops. The remnants can still be found with fewer members, but the chance diminishes with each player you take below 4. When a set of remnants drop within the Helliquary raid, they'll all be for one specific role, and anyone from the warband can pick them up. The rewards are not character specific. Remnants can drop within the first 5 clears of each reset. The warband rooms have been removed to streamline the system further. Each of you can directly select a specific role that you want to have active and can individually select the bonus stats that are active, independent of other warband members' choices. The warband leader will still determine the assignments of remnants for each role. I like that the leader has some more control here and that we have a little bit more freedom. All right, now we could also get a new banner. We got new emblems and things like that, which is cool. Our boy Red October runs our warband and clan. Hopefully he comes with a really cool looking design. Each clan has their own distinct pact of honor, a lack thereof to rally behind, or lack thereof. Clan leaders can now select a distinct banner emblem and background color to help you stand out amongst the fray. There's over 30 emblem options and proudly distinguish your clan battles. All right, 30, that's not a ton, but you know what? That between the background color, it'll be able to make you at least stand out a little bit. We have vault updates as well, and this one is a little bit in depth. Cheat, Death, and Savior will now reset their cooldowns upon exiting the vault. Well, that's a good thing. The vault now has a chance to spawn elite and rare monsters with the Immortal's vault rank, increasing the amount spawned per rank. There's also now a chance for a hidden passage to appear at the beginning of the first floor. The portal requires all players within the vault to channel it immediately skip players to the 4th floor, alerting the Immortals to their presence shortly after. If you choose to activate the hidden passage, you'll earn a chest rewards for the first 3 floors without having to clear them. However, if you choose to open the chest on the 1st floor, the hidden passage will crumble and become impassable. If you use the hidden passage, beware, for the Vault Guardian will increase in strength. Okay. Shadows that wait in queue for an extended period of time without finding a full party will now have the option to enter without a full party. Enemies within the vault will remain at their normal power and the alarm will still be triggered. So you don't have to wait anymore, but you still have the same battle at hand when you get in there with less players. Additionally, hilts earned when Immortals defend the vault have been increased from 200 to 350, and for wins, 150 to 200 for losses. All right, very cool. I think that was good. They haven't touched that in a long time. All right, we got some familiar improvements here. Your most stalwart companion is receiving a whole set of improvements. And we know that the familiars inside of the game, they're very, it's complicated and it's confusing for many players. I don't think that what we're about to look at right here is going to take away much of the confusion, but it does streamline some things. Conversion changes. After converting your familiar, you'll decide whether to keep one of the material familiars or the conversion result. This should reduce the risk of losing powerful familiars through converting. This applies to aberrant conversions using conversion stones. So you have to be utilizing conversion stones for that. Conversion output. There have been slight changes to the passives aberrant familiars receive when converting. To better match actual player demand, aberrant familiars will more often receive 2 or fewer rare passive skills. If you're not using a conversion stone during aberrant conversion, if you have a familiar with only 1 legendary skill, the minimum quality of skills for the newly converted familiar will be adjusted to 6 magic skills. Here's the note on that. Previously, during normal conversion, there was a high probability that an aberrant familiar would be generated with multiple rare passive skills, like 5 or 6. However, most of these aberrant familiars were not kept, but instead used as material for aberrant conversions, which is true. For the purpose, having fewer rare passive skills is actually preferable. More rare skills increases their market price, making them harder to sell, and becomes less useful as material for most players. To address the issue and better balance market supply and demand, we've adjusted the probability distribution of passive skills on aberrant familiars generated from normal conversion. The change does not affect the overall drop rate of aberrant familiars, only the distribution of their passive skills. Now, they mentioned that the more rare skills, the higher the value and the more you could sell it for in the market. And with getting less rare skills, we're actually going to be getting familiars that have less value, but they're going to be easier to sell. At the end of the day, I'm not sure if that's going to be a positive thing or a negative thing for people that are utilizing familiars as a platinum income source. We'll have to see how that plays out. That could be a hit to them there. Improved familiar trading rules. The familiar shop will now display the next time the wearers refresh, making it a bit easier to plan. Within the first 10 seconds after the store refreshes, purchases will go through a bidding process, preventing players from instantly grabbing the lowest price familiars. This is from the shop, that the game's generated shop. Additionally, the highest price that a familiar with 1 legendary skill or less has been updated to make pricing more accurate and easier to sell in turn. The freeze period following a familiar trade has also been extended to 7 days. Now, what that sounds like is they lowered the prices again of those familiars as well. But War Games is a huge one, guys, because we can now create our own lobbies and have our own battles that have nothing to do with Shadows, Immortals, Battlegrounds. We can set up our own tournaments. War Games, you can see the settings right here. Name the lobby, give it a password, call change what mode, how long it lasts, enable flags, and give the points that you want and create the lobby. This is actually massive for Diablo Immortal. We've spoken about Diablo Immortal in esports in previous videos, and this is something that's going to be huge. In times of peace, a warrior's mind is a blade unhoned. All right, we don't need to need through that. War Games is a new system that allows you to create custom PvP lobbies at any time. It launches with 3 modes to hone your skills in Destruction's Call, Slayer, and Tower War. War game lobbies will be cross-server, allowing you to join matches with fellow wanderers you typically wouldn't get to duel against. Absolutely amazing right there. Each mode will have specific settings that can be adjusted, including point or skill requirements, time limits, flag, and enemy spawns. Destruction's Call, capture the flag, will be a feature the same base gameplay you'll become used to in Ancient's Cradle. Crush your enemies and capture flags to earn points. Destruction's Call, Slayer in a team deathmatch mode. Oh, I love team deathmatch, where only objective is to kill the enemy team. Tower War will be the same gameplay you've known. Capture and hold the effigies to earn points. Destruction's Call, Slayer, this is going to be where it's at right here. At least for me, I'm going to absolutely love that. I always love just go out, no objectives, and just go fight to get kills. Destruction's Call will support up to 12v12 battles, and Tower War supports up to 8v8. A total of 40 players can be within a single lobby. Any additional players will be placed on the spectator list, only able to watch games. Having a spectator list that large is something that you don't often see. It's amazing, allows you to watch these battles, allows people to cast and stream these battles. I'm telling you guys, they're setting up for esports right here. To begin War Game, travel to the War Game tables on the Immortal Overlook in Westmarch near the Battleground Captain to join or create your War Games lobby. War Games will have the Strife debuff active, which reduces bonuses from legendary gems and other sources of power when playing in PvP. It does not have normalized fair PvP settings. So it's just like if you're in Battlegrounds. This is the beginning of what we hope to be hope this system can be. We'll keep an eye out for feedback and help shape war games in the future. It's the beginning. I think this could very well be the biggest update, biggest part of this update. I think it's actually incredible. Festival of the Ancient Moon from October 1st through October 15th. Completing daily, weekly tasks to earn rewards. All right, so you're going to be able to get things such as complete daily tasks such as the Sanctum, the Castle, Abyssal Verge, earn Aspirin Keys, runes, and more. Complete weekly tasks by leveling up runes. Complete the Rite of Exile, a Rite of Cleansing to earn Telluric Pearls. Set items, legendary items, and more. Accumulate more points, winning bonus rewards, Moonlight Flora, runes, and legendary crests. Basically, this is going to be an event where you get rewarded for doing things inside of the game. Free rewards, we'll take them. Battle Pass number 44, Eyeless Omens. All right, this is so our faces are going to be covered and we're losing our eyes in this cosmetic. Pretty cool. The Season 44 Battle Pass siddles its way into Sanctuary on September 25th. So the Battle Pass is ending. Remember, guys, to make sure that you actually utilize your battle points. Use them now. Be rising to the destined potential. It's going to be going on until October 23rd. And there's another Phantom Market here as well. Remember, the Phantom Market cosmetic traditionally costs approximately $170 to unlock all levels of it, which is a cross-class cosmetic, multiple bound cosmetics, portals, and other rewards. This is going to be going on from September 28th through October 22nd. Brings godly threats to wreath your adventure in. The Phantom Market also contains limited time Valkyrie, who accompanies you on your journey and plays special effects on certain conditions, on death, when idle, and when following you. So it looks like we're gonna have a really like golden, godly looking thing, angel-esque look. That's the wizard we're looking at right there in the front. I actually quite like it, and I'm really curious to see what this Valkyrie is going to be moving around. I did hear that we're going to have some sounds that do follow us around. Very cool, Phantom Market. Let me know if you guys like this one or not. Here are some other looks of that as well. The Valkyrie can be extended in its own Collector's Empowered Battle Pass. And there we go. That's what it's going to look like inside of the game. Play music from the Phantom Market. We have some things here as well regarding our badges. A bard's music may delight a crowd, but only for the time its mellifluous tones drift upon the wind. Now you can summon this ability anytime you please. Enjoy background music from previous Phantom Market cosmetics while in your inventory. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you could put the sounds that you get from Phantom Markets and attach them to your character. That's actually something nice. It's an additional little feature there. Experience music changes when switching between badges, as each one has its own theme. You can listen to others play selected badge music when viewing their profile if they have it enabled. Easily manage music playback with a single toggle in the badge UI. That's pretty cool. A small change, but pretty cool. We got some balance changes as well. Developers note we've updated and either tweaked or redesigned the functionality of many old legendary items in this update. Below, you can see the new item descriptions for the updated skills and few numeric balance changes that would be caught in the legendary description. These changes aim to bring back some old popular builds or even introduce new builds. All right, so there's a bunch of these. We're going to go through all of them. For the Barbarians, Fallow Field. The Whirlwind now consumes life instead of energy, allowing you to maintain your Whirlwind as long as blood still flows in your veins. Whirlwind also deals 6% increased damage with each consecutive hit, up to a maximum of 36%. Let's take a look at the Blood Knight. Lost Companions, or Umbral Brace, the reduced damage from multiple spears hitting the same enemy is now less severe. Previously, extra spears only did 50% damage, but now they deal 75%. We have Soul Sensor. Skewer also shatters the enemy armor, increasing their damage taken by 8% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 16%. And Abomination, base skill, primary attack, and non-channeled skill Anger Generation is increased by 100%. Channeled skills now generate 1 anger for every 2 energy consumed. Let's see what they're doing with this Crusader here. Crown of Dispassion, Consecrate, now empowers you, leaving behind a holy trail that damages enemies and reduces the damage that they deal by 25%. It's kind of like a trail of fire being left behind, but some aura instead. Objurgation, Judgment, now grants you a castigating aura that reduces enemy movement speed by 30%, increases the damage they take by 25%. Enemies within the aura that suffer a knockback effect are struck by holy light that stuns them for 2 seconds. Zanula's Last Hymn, Consecration, also increases enemy movement speed by 30%, reduces enemy movement speed by 30%, and prevents them from using dash skills for 2 seconds. It can occur more often than once every 6 seconds to that same enemy. Cavalier's Courtwear, Drawn Quarter, now knocks enemies airborne when you trample them. While mounted, you're immune to knockback effects and can't be dismounted by total loss of control effects. And additionally, you take 45% reduced damage from skills, but also deal 45% reduced damage within skills while mounted. And Harmonic Collide, Condemn cannot trigger its enemies are further than 10 yards away. Honestly, this seems like some nice buffs right here to the Crusader, which is already a strong class. Demon Hunter. From Guardian's Sight, Sentry is now empowered with Frost, damaging and stacking a chill on enemies that freezes them for 2 seconds at 4 stacks. Sentry also takes 75% reduced damage from players. Satidious Breath, Smokescreen, explosion damage increased from 50% to 75% for subsequent hits, and Laggards of the Invulnerable Inferno, Knife Trap, Immolation traps can now overlap, and enemies will take damage from each trap individually. That's actually pretty cool. You could stack traps on top of each other and do twice the damage. We have changes to the Druid. The Yawning Maw, Summon Grizzly, Fire Bear takes 50% reduced damage from players. Gargast Beacon, Summon Wolves, Fire Wolves take 50% reduced damage from players. Flesh is Fertile Ground. Thorn Armor is now toggled on or off, and while on, it consumes primal power to grant increased attack speed to all nearby allies and continuously damage nearby enemies, dealing increased damage from subsequent hits, up to 25% increased damage. We have Sadarkin, Summon Oak Sage, cooldowns reduced to 15 seconds, and Wildbrute Lunge Werewolf cooldown is increased to 9 seconds. Monk, Necro, and Tempest. The Monk, driven. I can't believe the Monk only has one change. Cyclone Strife is now channeled, causing you to run forward, spinning a staff of storms to damage enemies that increases in 8% with each subsequent hit, up to a maximum of 48%. When channeling, you're immune to knockback effects. So that's really like the main thing that people like to use on the Monk, Cyclone Strike. So that's actually a good positive buff for it. Necromancer, 10 Thorn, Corpse Lance now consumes nearby corpses and to launch lances at a target location. Soul Levy, Bone Spirits, now unleashes a wave of spirits that damage and fear enemies. Consuming corpses beforehand will increase the number of waves. And then the Tempest, probably the biggest along with the Crusader damage dealer inside of the game. Gust Gift, Wind Walk, now empowers you, during which your primary attacks grant you a shield that absorbs damage and grants immunity to knockback effects. The value equals 80% of your damage. The Zod Duth, Rolling Surf, now empowers your edges, granting you temporary immunity to loss of control and knockback, while causing you and your Zephyr's primary attacks to become sweeping sword slashes that deal increased damage with each consecutive hit. 5% increased primary attack damage, up to a maximum of 50%. Harniest Caskill, Squall now makes you untargetable and causes you and your Zephyrs to dash forward, damaging enemies in your path. Additionally, each active Zephyr that dashes with you will increase your primary attack speed by 15% for 1.5 seconds, up to a maximum of 45%. Honestly, it looks like the Tempest is also getting some nice buffs that are going to be very welcomed by many Tempest players. And my Wizard, because I still am playing as the Wizard, Veil of Dross, Ice Crystal, I don't use it. Ice Crystal refractions now extend the duration of Ice Crystal by 0.5 seconds, and it can occur more often than once every second. So essentially, you can have a very long-lasting Ice Crystal. Searing Judgment, Disintegrate now channels fire, applying a burn that stacks up to 5 times. At 5 stacks, the burn consumed, dealing additional damage, while channeling you're immune to knockback. And Entrophic Edge, Disintegrate Disintegrate damage is increased by 2.5% for every yard between you and an enemy, up to a maximum of 20%. Honestly, the wizard is a little bit underwhelming on the changes. And man, I understand this is a long video, but there is so much changes and there's more to come. Let's take a look at the feature updates coming to Diablo Immortal. Thanks to your feedback, we're updating our matchmaking and team distribution system logic, which should improve your matchmaking in a few significant ways. First, the improved matchmaking applies across multiple modes, including duo queue. Nothing is needed on your end. Matchmake as usual, and the updated system will take care of the rest. In addition to balancing overall combat power, matchmaking now takes into account class distribution with each team. A lot of people complain that they see a whole bunch of barbarians on one team. Well, now we know how frustrating it can feel when one team has too many barbarians or crusaders, making battles feel uneven. With this update, the matchmaking system should ensure melee-heavy classes are more evenly spread out between both teams, creating more balanced and strategic experience for everyone. This is our attempt at ensuring every match feels like a better test of teamwork and strategy, not just luck of the draw in matchmaking. This is a great change. Note, we've heard your feedback. Fairness isn't just numbers on a sheet, it's also about team structure. This new system better factors combat resonance and overall class balance to generate opposing teams that are more evenly matched. I'll tell you what, I know that Blizzard's been talking to a lot of people inside of the community, free-to-play players, content creators, the whale community, and it looks like they are actually implementing things that players want. This is a huge step for Diablo Immortal and the Blizzard team overall. Blood Knight Abomination updates. Abomination has received a few tweaks to make it more impactful by providing more uptime and flexibility during in your build choices. Primary attack speed and base skill, anger generation, has been increased by 100%. Channel skills will now generate 1 anger per 2 energy spent, while channeling the skill in addition to the base 3 anger on an initial cast. It seems like they think that the Blood Knight needs a buff. And there are some changes coming to the codex. If you take a look at the image right here, you'll notice there's a drop down of activities, weekly and daily activities, trophies, achievements, conquest, and everything else looks the same. The activities section of the codex will now have a drop down menu to filter activities by weekly and daily tasks. Dungeons are condensed into a single item that now have a pop-up for dungeon selection. Okay. There will also be a new item that shows up that shows you the limits and displays the party bonus for normal gems. Previously, this was only visible as your own buff. Wait a second. The bonus for normal gems. This is nice. This is nice. So now you don't have to just click on your buff to see how many gems you got, but you should be able to see it in here as well. Something else that I know the community was asking for. Terra Rift party optimization. When running Terra Rifts in a full party, we're adding the option for a quick join that automatically connects other players together. Using this function will make a new entry in the Party Finder tab, making it easier to find groups in Terra Rifts, regardless of whether you use Party Finder or immediately find one at the entry point. Very nice. Quality of life social updates. Incoming direct messages from friends will now be consolidated and harder to miss. I miss a lot of in-game messages. I don't love the system. I think it's a little bit wonky in messaging inside of the game. So I miss a lot of them. Sorry, guys. But it's nice to see they're making some changes here. Developers note, we've heard lots of community feedback that you were missing your friends' direct messages. We apologize for the rifts in your friendship that must have caused. On PC, a new chat bubble icon will appear for any unread direct messages. On mobile, a small unread messages band will show up in the chat for a direct message received. Additionally, the block list has been expanded past the previous cap of 100 players. Players' class information has been added to player profiles and raid management UI. The chat system now offers some prompts after a few hand-picked conditions. For instance, if your inventory is full and you open chat, there'll be a suggestion to tell other players that you're returning to town. We've changed the behavior of some red dots to be more relevant to you in the effort to reduce the clutter on your menu. We've also fixed the following issues. Fixed an issue where an error would occur when trying to view the profile of a friend that's from a different clan or cluster. Fixed an issue where party voice transcripts wouldn't turn off. And fixed the issue where the notification couldn't be dismissed after messaging a friend. Cool. That's solid changes for comms. Team up system improvements. We've introduced several quality of life fixes to make joining a party and communication smoother than ever. Teammate class display. Class information now be shown in team panels, the Heliquary boss entry screen, and other players' profile cards. This should make it easier to understand your team comp and at a glance and strategize. Team application timeout. To avoid confusion from previous requests, the team applications will now automatically expire after 30 minutes. Auto accept team invites and objectives. Previously, team objectives and auto accept settings were only tied to active recruitment. These things are now persistent, meaning they'll remain even outside of recruitment. This means it's easier for players to maintain the team goals and seamlessly join teams without having to repeat reactive recruitment. We're improving the initial chat experience by automatically lowering other in-game sounds while the voice chat's active. That makes sense too. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the chat button in the dungeon interface wouldn't properly appear during team play, and fixed an issue where switching another tab after viewing a recruitment tab would sometimes leave the information displayed. Very cool. Random dungeon, replay random dungeon feature, continue random dungeon or leave. If you enter a random dungeon with a party of one to 3 players, you'll be able to directly replay the random dungeon once your dungeon is completed. I do only random dungeons nowadays, so this is a nice little feature. This removes the extra step of leaving, having to re-enter a queue time, making it so basically you could just quickly get back into those dungeons. And we have some dungeon improvements as well. We've made changes to several specific dungeons. Oh, you know what I'm hoping for. And it's there. Good. We've listened to the player feedback across the forums and surveys. You reported that dungeons had moments which slowed down the pace, unnecessary waiting, invincibility phases, and extra clicks. These optimizations were done in the spirit of delivering a fast, smoother, more exciting dungeon playing experience. The Rapids removed the 4-second delay at the start of the dungeon and adjusted timing within the dungeon overall so it should run more smooth. Cool. I'd like to get to the raft quicker. Pit of Anguish. Fixed multiple bugs reported by the community. Thanks. Silent Monastery. The teleport mechanic will no longer trigger early when the boss's health depletes quickly. Okay, I just don't love that dungeon. Dread Reaver. Remove the additional sailor dialogue requirement after killing the captain. Shortened unnecessary performance sequences. Hey, you'd get that theatrical too if you spent most of your life on the seas. That's funny. Tristram Cathedral. Reduce the butcher's invincibility time when he spawns, making the butchery more efficient. So he'll spawn, we can fight him sooner. And general flow improvements. Reduce the amount of clicks needed to skip dialogue and cutscenes. Looking at you, Tomb of Fahir. That sounds awesome. All right, so dungeons will be a little bit smoother for us along the way. Challenge dungeon affix optimizations. We're changing some of the existing modifiers for challenge dungeons. When the butcher appears from disruptive portals, he'll deal less damage and has a chance to drop an additional set item. Sacrificial power has the following conditions. Health loss and cooldown reduction are proportionally reduced on your health. So, for every 25% health loss and cooldown reduction is reduced by 33%. At 75 to 100% health loss is 2.22 per 1 second, reducing cooldown by 70%. At 50 to 75% health loss is 1.5 per 1 second cooldown, reducing by 47%. At 25 to 50% health loss is 0.74 per 1 second cooldown, reducing cooldown by 23%. And at 25% health or lower, health loss per 1 second cooldown is close to as 0 as possible, reducing cooldown reduction. Sacrificial power was one that is a big problem for a lot of people. Additionally, challenge plunder chests will spawn after scene changes in dungeons where this is applicable. Explosive reaction will deal damage to a maximum of 2 times simultaneously to a player. Explosive reaction will not damage summons, and the effects will now be a red circle to help visibility. New challenge dungeon affix. Erratic Assault. Similar to Greed Spoils, skip directly to the final dungeon boss and continue up to 3 additional Erratic Assault portals to face additional bosses. Boss difficulty will increase as you go through the dungeon. I love the skip to the boss option, and I like this one as well. This is a chance to appear in normal dungeons, and in challenge dungeons, it'll appear alongside other affixes. Build recommendation system changes. The main feature update are coming to build recommendation system, which were all done to help any player refine exactly what they're looking for in their class, as well as experiment with items that they have yet to hunt down. Let's take a look at this. You have different builds right here. You have community builds, and it kind of shows you what the loadouts look at. You could try it out, save selections. You could look at other players and their loadouts. First off, you'll now be able to save your unique builds, give them unique names and descriptions when uploading them to the database to share with other adventurers. You'll also be able to track how many players find them useful. If you've ever wanted to share builds out to friends, this is for you. I actually love this. This could actually be very helpful for me in particular as well. Secondly, you can now simply try to build on the recommendation system. You can select a build from the available offerings and try out the build in a test room before settling on it. Even before you're collected the legendary items the build requires, you'll be able to see whether it's the right fit for you. Wow, that is huge. Being able to test builds when you don't even have the affixes unlocked is insane. Love that. Thirdly, you'll be able to track these items, equipment, and gems needed for specific builds. This should help you know where you've collected the items you needed for the intended build. We look forward to your feedback. This is a for the player implementation inside of the game. I absolutely love it. New cursed shrines. 2 mysterious cursed shrines have appeared across the wilds, warping nearby monsters within the sinister power. Those who dare to awaken them will face deadlier foes and claim greater rewards. All right, so we have some new shrines. The Elite Shrine. When activated, the new shrine surges with a dark energy. Monsters you defeat may rise again in stronger forms, changing the ordinary foes into elites and eventually ancient terrors. Battles will escalate in intensity as fallen enemies return to more powerful than before. Greater danger brings greater rewards if you can survive the onslaught. I like that. That's actually kind of cool. We have the Split Shrine. The shrine distorts reality, causing monsters to split into perfect duplicates the moment they engage you. Every fight becomes a storm of enemies, testing your skill and speed. Twice the threats mean twice the spoils for those bold enough to seize them. And the shared traits. These shrines appear rarely and without warning. Emit a red, ominous aura. They're instantly recognizable from afar. The shrines themselves are visible to all players by the monsters triggered by them are exclusive to your team. Okay, so it's not going to be fought by everyone in the zone. You preserve stability. These shrine effects are balanced with the intention of not overwhelming the battlefield. Face the shrines, defy the curse, claim the power. Will you risk everything to conquer these new shrines or be consumed by them? A couple of things here for Heliquary. Items that drop in Heliquary raids are now less likely to drop near portals. That's smart, so we don't accidentally hit the portal when we leave. Hero's Journey. We hope that you have readied your Blade Adventurer. Chapter 5 and 6 of the Hero's Journey are now available. Complete both to earn the rewards. And we have some bug fixes right here as well. I don't know what that stuff means. I think this is I'm not sure. This is part of maybe who put these patch notes together. Sacrifice is required for the harvest ahead. The Diablo Immortal team. All right, looks like there's no fixes right now. This was an in-depth patch notes, a 48-minute patch notes, and I told you I want to share with you some more footage and a special trailer. Now, unfortunately, I need to keep this muted so I don't get myself a strike, so let's put some background music on here and let's get this thing playing so you can see what this is all about. Definitely some cool looking trailer stuff going on right here. The Boils building the base. So that was the footage that was shared from Blizzard that was recently dropped on their YouTube channel, the trailer for the update. And this stuff right here is just gameplay footage that was rendered from inside of the game. We'll watch this as we close out, but what do you guys think of this new Diablo Immortal update? Do you think that this is going to be something that's going to excite many players? I think with the new zone, the new storyline, the new dungeons, the fixes everywhere, and the new matchmaking system so that we could actually create our own battles and tournaments inside of the game, it's actually massive. This is a bigger update than many players thought. Everything that you saw inside of this video is confirmed by Blizzard and is actually coming to the game. This is real, guys. This update is coming in 2 days. I can't wait for it. I appreciate you guys watching the whole video. If you made it until the end, let me get a hashtag made it in the comments section below. I'm curious who watched a 50-minute video. Hope you're hyped for the update. Have a great day, guys.